One of the biggest questions I always get from most of my subscribers is, what camera should I buy, or basically what phone should I buy? I wish I had the means to test every camera that came out and every phone that, basically that was out, but I don't. And one resource that I always watch is Marquise, aka MKBHD. Watch his channel, guys. This is how I find out about the newest, hottest things, especially when it comes to cell phones. And the one issue that I like watching Marquise is because he likes to talk about the cameras also, other than just, what the phones can do. But he's also a big camera nerd, and also a great inspiration if you guys want to get into tech channels or tech reviews. Unfortunately, I don't have the capability of testing every single phone that comes out, which I would love to have access to. Check out his channel, and definitely check out his newest video on the Samsung Galaxy, the new 21. And I think I want to get a Sony, but this 21 looks very good. Anyways, guys, enough of my jibber jabber. Just want to throw out a resource out there if you guys did not know. Patrick Levar, jump on his channel, take a look, and do all that jibber jabber. Catch you in the next one. Yo guys, what up? Me, Patrick Levar. So quickly, I don't know why I said that we're in the same video, but anyways, so quickly here, I wanted to share that resource about Marquis' channel, because I get that question so many times about what's the best cell phone should I buy, and should I buy this camera, should I buy that camera. Honestly, guys, I'm the last person to ask that question, because one, I don't get to try these phones, but Marquis gets to check out all these phones. So check out his channel and just basically absorb in all the data that he presents there. But quickly here, I wanted to show you guys, I'm pushing myself and experimenting as much as possible. I've been really into the film look, and I've been trying to get to emulate that as much as possible. So quickly here, I'm going to show you my little process again here in Davinci Resolve. A lot of you guys like that I showed my process for post. So here's my opening shot, kind of an establishing shot, right? And the thing here was kind of difficult was the window was so bright, trying to make sure that this didn't blow out. So I used my Moment ND filter, and I had it almost to max, a little bit more, 3/4 past half. So to get this window exposed, but then I didn't want to kill my shadows too much. I wanted to keep some details here a little bit into the shadows, so it was like a happy medium balance. So what I'm going to do quickly here, and pretty much some of the other shots were the same there again, but it's okay. Embrace the shadows. So quickly, I'm going to jump onto the color page here, and for me, the way that I've been coloring, this is something new that I've been trying. I did the log profile again, the same setup with the gamma, and I'll quickly show you guys my settings. I'll do a screen capture and show you my settings, and then now what I've been doing is on the log footage coming out of MCPRO is I throw on the stock area Alexa basically profile that comes with Davinci Resolve. I throw that on, and then from here I'll go into Alt S, and then I'll start to balance it out here. My blacks are a little bit too crushed here on the for me. So what I'm going to do is kind of lift those up a little bit again, and just save as much as I possibly can. I'll lift those up, and then even jump into the log wheels, and also kind of just do the happy medium there. And on the mids, I can pull those mids up a little bit. And then my highlights, again, I don't want to lose all that data that I was trying to preserve from the original. So let's just see. It's a little bit heavy on the darks on this one here, but if I hit Control D, there it is. Not too bad, but somewhere. So from here, what I also would like to do is I've been experimenting, again, like I said, with some of the LUTs, and I've been using the stock film LUTs that come with Davinci Resolve, and I like Fuji for some reason. I noticed in the past I've always gravitated it towards the Fuji. I think I like how it puts the blues in some of the shadows a little bit. And here's a couple of the Kodak ones. I kind of just skimmed through them, and obviously these are all coming in too heavy right now. But see, I like this little bit of blue, like in the highlight. I mean, in the shadows there. So I'll kind of just go through these and see what I like. And again, I've been gravitating towards this Fuji one here. I think 35, what is it, 35-1D. So, oh, hang on, let me undo that. I also like to add in another node and then add my, where was it, Fuji, here it is, add in this. And then here I'll just basically put it to 0 and then just slowly creep it in. Slowly creep it in just to ever so slightly get a little bit of difference in there. Okay, and to me it's still feeling really heavy on the darks. Let me make it full screen here. Yeah, this is just way too dark, so let me go back here, and then maybe even on the Alexa here I'm going to pull this down all the way and just slowly creep that back in to get my colors back. Well, if I don't, you know what, let me do something different again here. Let's just kill that to 0 and let's just bring my saturation up to bring back in my colors. Actually, hang on, it's not going to do it that way. Let's reset this node. Alright, so that node is reset, and then let's just go ahead and bring in the saturation. There we go. Saturation's at 100. I don't want it at 100. Back it off to like 80 something. Control D. Okay, that's looking cool. Let me go full screen and make sure, see what that looks like. Alright, that's looking a little bit better. See, now I got some of my details back here in the shadows. You know, that's why I don't want to lose all that. But it was a tough shot to really get for me. I wish, because of the window again. The window was my enemy. It was so bright that it was either the windows were going to be, all this area was going to be super white and blown out, or this area was going to be nice. So I had to battle. But hey, that's the whole point of doing this, is to challenge myself on these type of shots. And let's see here. Let me go back to my Fuji Lut. Let me go D. You can see it makes a small little bit of difference. It also darkens everything down a little bit too. So what I can also do is bring that back in, right? And click on this, and let's also go ahead and take out, let me go to the log wheel and pull back some of my shadows. Hang on, it's not doing it. Let's go to the color wheel. Well, I think I have it muted. Yeah, it was muted. Okay. So now let's go back and just lift up those shadows. There we go. And I don't mind that fade, the blacks to be faded, because I like that fade look. You can see the reds were totally clipping. The reds were way down in there. So I'm going to pull that up until the reds are just touching above 0. Kind of something like, let me split the difference like half and then go to the log wheel. The log wheel basically would just pull up the shadows and not affect anything else. Unlike the color wheel, will pull up everything a little bit uniformly. Okay, let me go back to full screen. Okay, I like that. I got details in there. It looks like I got my little fade look. I think I can go a little bit more now on the back on the actual LUT and bring it in a little bit harder. Like something like that. Probably like 6. Let's see. I go less is better. Less is better. The fade is getting a little bit heavy, but I like it. I like it. So I would do that, and then what I basically would do is jump back, and then I would add in a noise or a grain. And I have a grain. Unfortunately, I can't give it away because it was from a paid pack. I usually use this color coarse grain right here. Hard light fine. There it is. And this is basically what it looks like. I use this, and it's just, I like the way it looks. It just really gives a little bit of gringiness, a little bit of dirtiness to the image, and just really takes that digital bite off of it, you know, the cell phone look, and really kills it off. So I go a little bit generous on this. I go in here and I go down to hard light as far as my coloring. Where is it at? Hard light, like that. And then I'll normally take this down to about 45. And again, I want to make it noticeable, but not distracting. Basically, what phone should I buy? I wish I had the means to test everything. And that to me looks okay, about 45. And then after YouTube compresses it, it kind of blends in nice. So I'll leave that at 45. That's been my go-to number recently, is 45 on that. And then I basically would just drop that over everything. And now what I'm going to do, that like that. Jump back into my color, and put it on all the shots, and each shot is going to be slightly different, so some of them I'll have to make some different adjustments to. So if I basically go to the second shot, right, we'll click on the second shot, and then I just learned this: if you press the mouse button, middle mouse button, boom, it automatically puts it onto the next clip there. And or you can select all of them, select all the clips like this, and then go back to the clip you want to, and then middle mouse button over it, boom, and it adds it to all of them. So from here I'll jump back in and I'll watch everything in full screen to see if anything anything pops out to me that I don't like, or anything is too dark. Control F, and then I'll basically preview it back and see how, try to keep some continuity between all the shots, make sure not one is not darker than the other, because this all took place in the same. See, that looks good. Those came out really close there. That looks good. Windows still not too crazily blown out. This one could be, there's a lot of window there, so there's nothing I can really do on that one. I think this looks good. This one definitely, I think it is a little warmer than the other shot. So let me go back and see what it's looking like on the scopes. So the scopes don't lie. Your eye constantly adjusts, so the scopes are the way to define. So I'm looking at, here's my levels on the highs, here's my level on the lows, and here's my average in the medium, and then I go to the next clip. Now see, I could go a little bit higher because my highs were kind of a little bit about in the middle of 890 to 7. So I could bump this up a little bit on the highs. I'm gonna click this middle one here, and this time I'm in my log wheel, so this is only gonna adjust the highlights and just bring that up to it's like in the middle, and I bump up the mids just ever so slightly. All right, so now that looks more in the range. There we go. It's not too bad. And then you know what? I could even on this one, let's just take those highlights down just ever so slightly. Just a little bit there, bump it down. Okay, and then again here, let's look. Now this shot, since I was so much closer here, you can see it's a little bit darker, and there's not a lot too much bright in the scene, but definitely here again, where's my highs? My highlights were in this range, splitting the difference here. So we could bring the highlights up on this one here, but this time I'm going to jump to the color wheel, bring the highlights up, and it's going to bring the highlights and the mids up a little bit together. So let's just kind of do half. I'll like split the difference, and then I'll jump into the log wheel and then just pull just the highlights up for that last little bit of edge there. So I'm kind of like paying attention to my skin tone and the brightness of my skin right there, like even here. They're kind of pretty close. And then let's see the darkest shadow areas right about there. And then look at my dark shadows here. I'm going to go back. Dark shadows there. I guess I could bump that up just ever so slightly, but it's good. I'm nitpicking. This one, noticeably different. So again, highlights okay, but I think the mids. The color feels a little bit off on this one too. Seems like one might be cooler than the other. Yeah, the blues, you can see the blues here are a little bit high compared to here. So what I could do is just in the highlights, just ever so slightly nudge down that blue. Like that. Just ever so slightly. And then again, this one we made a big change on it, so I will go to this, click on this one, and the middle mouse button just to copy over what I did on that one. So there's that. And I think my blacks might be clipping a little bit here. So let me lift up my shadows just ever so slightly. That looks good. That looks good. Those look the same. Just actually a little bit of highlight difference. Here's a highlight. The sun was going in and out of the clouds too, which was killing me. And this one we can bump the highlights up just a little bit. Like that. And I'll bump up just a little bit of mids there. See if those are much better. See, much better. And this shot I knew it felt a little dark. Again, let me lift up the shadows here ever so slightly, bring up the mids a little bit. And my highlights are still in that range. Yeah, the highlights are still in that range, so we're okay on that. And then this was a different part of the room, different lighting here. But we're good. Look, our highlights are still in the range. The mids are a little bit high because I'm in the kitchen now, but this room is so much warmer, and this other room is so much colder when I get to the kitchen here. But again, I could bring down the mids a little bit, just ever so slightly, like that. My highlights are still in that range, so we're pretty much good there. So basically that's it, guys, how I will go through and how these are the looks I'm building right now, trying to get that film look. I've just been using Film Luts, nothing super crazy, and basically that's how I've been building my look. So if you guys enjoyed this content, you want some more like this, let me know down in the description. I mean, how do I say the description? Let me know down in the comments. Enough of my jibber jabber. This is a long video for me. I normally in and out in less than 5 minutes. I think I'm already past 10 minutes on this. So catch you guys in the next one. Patrick Levar, keep filming. Peace.